This is a Gate Ruler box opening. I got through a couple games of this. Game seems pretty fun. The art is very cool. I've opened up one other box, and it had 3 legendaries. The mix on it was about 3 commons and uncommons of every card, of every type of common and uncommon. And like I said, the art's amazing. If you like Force of Will, you will like the art in Gate Ruler. So I have it set up a little bit different. As I pull some of the cooler cards, I will put them so you get a close-up of the frame as we go through, and I'll get a little organization going, and then I will start holding up cards to the screen so you can kind of get a better idea of what they look like, even the common and uncommons. I just want to have a nice placement for us to get going here. So these the last cards, I've seen foils in 3 of the 4 last spots. This would be a common. It's a 1-star, black, and then this would be your rare, would be your 4-star. So you have 3. You have 1, 2, 3, and 4-star cards. The 1s and 2s would, I assume, be your commons and uncommons. Your 3s and 4s would be your rares and ultra rares, maybe. I'm not sure what they exactly would call them. And so this is a 3 and a 4, and so this actually is a little bit different. So this is another cool thing that they do. So this Alice Wonderland Avenger is a 4-star, but it's different, and hopefully I can find another one that's similar to that, because the 4 stars, this has, as you can see in that screen, has a it's like a full art. And a lot of times you need to hold it up to the original one to see the difference, but there's a lot of them that have just that slight difference. So it's kind of been going through and trying to figure it out. I just love the way these cards pop. The way the foiling on them makes it pop is just amazing. It's different than a lot of other games that I've been around. And as far as the gameplay and the mechanics, like I said, I've played a couple games. The 2 starter decks seemed pretty well balanced. They were back and forth the whole time. I believe the one that had the hand won versus the drive deck. There's your 3-star. And there's the 4-star. And now this one looks like another full art. It's in the gold. The writing you can see in that screen is gold versus the silver writing that generally comes. While I was opening my first box, I was coming back for pre-release for Flesh and Blood, so I took my time opening as my buddy was driving his car, and I really got to see a lot of the cards. We got to go through them. It was a lot of fun just to read them all, and because we had already played several games, we got to kind of talk over the interactions that each one of the cards would have. So, like, if you're watching this and you've played Force of Will, card is called Aris. I believe that's based off of the Force of Will character Arla. Garrett, who I was riding home with, knew a lot of these cards. He could name most of them that had the crossover that were both Force of Will and now Gate Ruler. Each of the cards have different types. They have factions, so all these different colored borders are different factions, and then within each of the cards you have a attack rating. So when you attack, either another unit or the ruler, and then well, the attack only goes for the unit. hit points is what it takes from another unit to be defeated. And then your strike is when you attack a ruler. When you attack the ruler, the strike value is what goes through. So this is a 3 foil pack. So I got 1 3-star and 2 2-star foils. So I've seen that. I've not seen... Now there's cards called Uber Rares, and I'm trying to figure out which ones those are. I believe they're like a blacked out version of the actual card. So I pulled this in the borderless in my first box. It's a very nice looking card. Move that over so you can see it well. And I just love the way the pink faction just really pops to me. And the foiling is amazing. The other thing that you'll notice, and I'll show you the back of one of these cards, is very similar to Force of Will. The cardstock is thick, so a lot of cards, when you get those foiling cards, hey, look at Scrooge Blesta from Force of Will. You get the foiling cards, they immediately will fold and bend. These do not do that. These, like Force of Will, and the card I had sitting there to begin with, this is an Excalibur that's foiled. That card's been out of a sleeve for months, and it's not curled, it's perfectly straight, which I really enjoy cards that stay straight and don't curl all the time. I love this card. This card, 1000-Year Sakura, just an amazing card. The way it bleeds into the border is just awesome. And a 1-star. So that's kind of what the packs are. Your first ones are going to be your commons and uncommons, and then you have your 3 and 4-star spot where you'll get one or the other. And then so you got uncommon, 2 2-stars, and then this is your oh, look at that, that's one of the best cards. That's one of the weirdest arts in the game, but this would be considered an uber rare because it is completely blacked out. I believe this is one of the more rare cards in the game. I can be corrected on that if I'm incorrect, but the foiling on that is absolutely amazing. Let me get it straightened out here. Bumped my, there we go. I'll leave that there. And then a 3-star. The other nice thing about this game, which I'm sure is kind of a Force of Will thing, is the fact that if you buy 4 boxes, I feel like you're going to pull play sets of pretty much everything you need. Look at this, 2 in a row. So that's another uber rare. So there's the Arliss. Wow, this is a great box. So there's the difference between an uber rare. So this had 2 uber rares. Wow, that's crazy. So that's didn't have that in the box that I didn't open on camera. So glad I saved it for this. That's pretty crazy. So those are both apps. I would imagine, from what I've seen, probably $30 to $50 cards, somewhere in that neighborhood. Which is cool. I have no plans on selling this set. Another Alice in Wonderland. I already showed you that one. Because I like to play games. When I buy card games, generally I buy them to play them. I don't buy them to sell. Obviously, if you get a card that's super expensive and it pays for the hobby, that makes sense to sell. But I like to keep as much as possible to actually play the game. There's a 4-star. Another very cool card. And you can just see they just really pop. And hopefully you can see these. I don't like to do these box openings over an hour, so I don't want to... I try not to go too slow. I try to get you a good idea of what the art looks like. Shadow of Hades, very cool. We'll put it on top where you can see it for a little bit there. I'll put the really cool ones over on the side camera. But overall, I don't know that I would ever. I don't play. Oh, there we go, another legendary. This is actually a second one. I opened this legendary in the first box that I opened. So this is my second Blaze Vortex. Very cool looking card. And like I said, I got 3 legendaries in the first box I opened. I don't know if that's going to happen again because of the back-to-back Uber Rares that I pulled. And I believe that is what they're called, is Uber Rares once again. Mikage, another name from Force of Will. And then as you can see, this is the 3 and 4 stars are all foiled. And then in the foil spot where you get your commons and uncommons, you'll occasionally get another 3-star or 4-star, and then they will have gold writing is what I've been seeing when you get that card in that spot. And that's another beautiful card with the flowers everywhere. There's some themes in here with the driving, and then there's definitely graveyard recursion already. So this is a 3 foil pack, which is fun, the graveyard recursion. 3 foil, that card is very cool, and it's Schroner's cat, so it's another kind of name from Force of Will. Normal foil, and then a 3-star foil. So the mechanics seem pretty good, pretty easy. The drive deck seems like it would suit somebody that's very good at deck building because the way you pilot it, you don't have a hand, so it's just a matter of the way that you're attacking your opponent. So piloting isn't as important as the way you attack. So if you have a good build, and as we're opening the cards, you find drive cards, and what drive means is you just flip over 2 cards at the start of your turn, and those 2 cards automatically are played or set in the field. So you have 3 cards in the back, you have your ruler, and then 2 cards that can attack, and then you have a defender that you have to destroy before you can take damage. And the other really cool part about this game, which I've enjoyed, so here's another legendary, 4-star legendary. So 2 legendaries. This is an amazing box. The cool thing about it is when you take damage in this game, your ruler will have a health. So right here is the health. He's got 12 hit points. So from your draw deck, you're going to draw cards equal to the damage you take. So if it says 3 damage, you will take that 3 damage. Then if you flip over the first card, this is called Thunder Strike, also Thunder and Force of Will, it says counter. If you flip a counter, you don't take that damage, you do what the counter ability says. The nice thing is about that is there's interactions on both turns, so it's just very, very back and forth. It reminded me a little bit of Flesh and Blood, that it's a back and forth fight. Force of Will, you could sit there for some turns while your opponent does 100 things with 0 interaction that you can do. They're going to ask you for interaction on each step, but there's not necessarily something you can do, and they just keep going and doing all their stuff. Because you're not always going to interfere with certain actions, you will let them continue to do them. Whereas this game, which I am a fan of games that there's interactions more often between the players. Oh, that's a cool one too. So that's a 3-star. I just love that face. So I very much enjoy that. Right now mechanics seem pretty simple. There is some advanced things with the graveyard and abysmal summoning to make sure you summon your units properly, which is pretty cool, but nothing huge. So, and I think it's like most card games where when they first come out, you want a game that is easy to get into, that new players can pick up and isn't going to stress you out. So it's a very, very easy game. We picked it up halfway through the first playthrough. We had the sheet because there was a lot of keywords on it. So we're constantly checking the keywords. So there's Another one, but this is gold in the back, and I just don't know if it's more rare because it's got gold writing. It doesn't look any different, so as far as value, normal versus that, I don't know. So yeah, overall, fun game. Probably be a kitchen table game, a fun game that you can teach anybody that comes over. Pick it up pretty easily. Oh, there's that. It's cool. Golden Ring Dancer in the golden spot. But yeah, it's very, very fun. Very easy to pick up. I picked up both the starters. I was waiting to open this box. Like I said, I got a lot of play sets opening up the first box, but I was waiting to open this box before I start modifying the decks. I will now modify them to start improving them. And there's some really cool cards, and that's why I set up the little camera on the side, so if you, when I get to those nice cards, you can take a look at them while I go through the rest of them. And I did pull, yesterday I pulled a foiled ruler, and is that this? That's not the same card, is it? No. I did pull a foiled ruler, and those seem to hold quite value, and that's the type of card I personally like to sell as a foiled ruler, because I can play the non-foil version just as much as I can play the foil version, and sometimes that helps pay for your hobby. So those I definitely like to put on the for sale block. I was hoping to get one today just to show everybody. Another Mikage. Every time I see that, I think of Mikage Rhea from Force of Will. White Dragon I've already shown. 36 packs, 10 cards a pack. Like I said, you'll get most 3 of pretty much every single common and uncommon, and I'm going to have play sets after 2 boxes of by just what I can see, a good number of the 3-star, so I would call those the rares in here. I'll have play sets of most of those. The 4s, I know I'll have some play sets of the 4s. Legendaries, I have to see if there's any restrictions of how many you can have. I love this guy. He just pops in foil. So I have to read on that. Deck building is kind of interesting. Deck building, each ruler has specific way they can be built. Most rulers can be built with 2 different factions being the colors of the borders. One of them was 3. But then there's other restrictions when you use more. The drive deck can only have a total number of its unit cost, which is in the top left corner, of, I believe, 52. Oh, this is awesome. So, in the 4 spot, we got an awesome looking full art Gruz Blusta, or as he's called in here, the Abyssal Conductor. I don't always pronounce things right the first time. I apologize. Down to 3 packs. I'm going to say I'm pretty happy with this opening, even though I didn't get another foil ruler, which is good, because if you get it in one and not another box, it just means it's a little bit more rare. And I like that they put those rarities. You get some chase cards that are not necessary to build a deck, but are rare to hold value on the secondary market, so you can sell them as you see fit. Space Journalists, that card cracks me up. Another golden ring. A double rare pack. So the double rare packs are nice, helps fill out your quota of rares. Also deck building, I believe it's, like I said, there's some that I think are only 1-ofs, but for most it's 4-ofs, like a lot of the games. And very equal in their distribution. As you can see, the stacks are about the same height. Marvelous Prime, very cool. Put him right there. And our last pack, this guy, like the foiling on him really pops versus the non-foiling. Alright, last pack. I don't think we can get anything else too amazing, since we've already seen some pretty amazing cards in this opening. Ending on a rare dragon. Oh, and a double rare. I don't think I've seen him. This might be the one. No, I had to have pulled him. He does not look familiar. He is really cool looking. That's the last one. This game is a ton of fun. Pretty inexpensive to grab the starter decks. Very, very easy to learn. I'm sure it'll get more advanced when I add these in and as the decks grow. They've already announced another booster coming out in July, so I'm going to give it a shot. I have a couple more boosters to open to see if I can fill out playsets of 4 stars and see what kind of deck I can build. I hope you enjoyed the video.